So these are my controller settings. I use an Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. My button layout is tactical, so I slide, dive and crouch and prone with my right stick. I do use 3 back paddles, for which I use my jump, my switch weapons and my interact button. My stick layout is default, controller vibration off, and my dead zones, this is all controller dependent. It all depends on your controller, how old your controller is, how new your controller is. My left stick min, I have it on 8. You need to have this as low as possible without getting stick drift. My left stick max is 70. This is so your movement feels more fluent and responsive. My right stick min is 9. I've recently increased this as I felt like I was getting more stick drift on my right stick, and my right stick max is 99, and both triggers are on 5. You can test your stick dead zones with this option here. If you just turn that on and then move your sticks around, it lets you know how responsive your sticks are. You want them as responsive as possible, but you don't want any stick drift. Then there's my aiming sensitivity. I do switch up my sense quite a lot. I go all the way from 7.7 to 10.10. I'm always changing it. The majority of the time I do run 8.8 sensitivity with 0.75 ADS sense. I think 8.8 is a good medium between movement and aiming. I feel like a lot of people play too high sense because they like the movement, they like being fast, but it is really detrimental to your aim. So my advice would be to find a sense where you can move but also have good aim, because at the end of the day, movement is pointless if you don't hit your shots. I think anywhere between 6.6 and 12.12 is good for the majority of players. The majority of streamers, content creators, everyone kind of runs a sense in between 6.6 and 12.12. But sensitivity is all preference. You just have to run what you feel comfortable with. The aim response curve type, I have this on dynamic. I would recommend dynamic. That is pretty much what everybody uses, and it is the best aim response curve. The ADS sensitivity transition time I have on instant. I don't run custom sensitivity per zoom, but you can change this if you want. If you want your ADS sense to be faster, say for snipers whilst you're zoomed in, you can obviously just change this and use a low zoom at 0.75 or whatever you have it on. Obviously I have aim assist on. Aim assist is really overpowered at the minute. This is where a lot of people have different settings. Aim assist type, I run default at the minute, but people do run Black Ops. I feel like they're the same thing. I don't really feel much difference when I switch between these, but it's obviously all personal preference. I know people that use Black Ops, I know people that use default, and it doesn't really seem to make that much of a change, but see which one you prefer. Then we get into gameplay. You want automatic tap sprint on. That is a necessity. This will help you tap sprint just by pushing your stick forward. Tap sprint is the main part of movement in this game. It's what makes you run the fastest you possibly can, so having that on is a great help. Slide maintain sprint, I would like to have this setting on, but as I've making this video, it is bugged. There is a glitch where if you have this on, it causes you to dolphin dive even if you have slide only on and you don't have dolphin dive on at all. This will still make you dolphin dive. However, with this off, you do get dead slides. If they fix this, I will turn this on, but for now I am preferring to take the dead slides over dolphin diving all the time. However, if they do fix the bug, I will turn this on, so keep that in mind. Grounded mantle I have off. This can get you killed if you're trying to jump shot near something that you can climb on mid gunfight. It will automatically climb you onto, like, say a surface like that, or a crate or something. I did used to have this on for a long time, but I turned it off now because it was losing me too many gunfights. Slide only. When you have tap to slide and hold to dive, this creates a delay from when you want to slide. If you do slide cancel a lot and you use a lot of movement to outplay people, you do want to have slide only on because it gets rid of that delay and it will make your movement feel much more fluid. Plunging underwater, have on trigger, parachute auto deploy off, sprinting door bash on 100%. You want to be able to go through doors, slide through doors. This makes doors much more easy to navigate. It makes it so you don't have to press your interact button every time you want to go through a door. It allows for door plays to be much more fluid, much more interactive, and it makes it a lot easier to door play people. Ledge climb behaviour, I have this on movement base, so if I just push forward whilst hanging on a ledge, it'll just automatically mantle me over. I leave the majority of these how they are. This is a massive one, interact / reload behaviour. I have this on tap to interact, hold to reload, so I have to hold my X button to reload and I tap to interact. In Warzone, this makes it easier to open doors, to pick loot up. You just have to tap the button instead of holding. It makes your gameplay much more fluid, much faster to loot and stuff like that. opening crates, picking up loot, picking up ammo, opening doors, anything that you use the interact button, you only have to tap. However, you do have to hold to reload, so it does take a little bit to get used to. Armor plate behavior, apply all. This one speaks for itself. And for the rest of these settings, I've just left them on default. And for those on PC, here are my graphics settings. Because I stream, I have to have my display mode on full screen borderless. This is so I can tab out, but to get the best FPS and stuff like that, you do want to be on full screen exclusive. I don't really change much else. I have NVIDIA Reflex low latency on plus boost. I have this eco mode preset changed to custom. V-syncing the gameplay and menus both off. In quality, you want your render resolution to be 100, dynamic resolution off. I run fidelity CAS and you can change the strength of it. I have it on 80. Ray tracing off. VRAM scale target on 80 and variable rate shading off. The rest of the settings, I have the majority on low or very low or off. This is just to get the best FPS possible. So if you'd like to copy these, I'll just scroll down now so that you can see them. And as for view, obviously I run 120 FOV. I would recommend being anywhere between 110 and 120. ADS field of view, you want this to be unaffected. This cuts out a lot of visual recoil, will really help your aim. Weapon field of view, I have it on wide to make the weapon look smaller so you can see more around you. Motion blur off for both world and weapon, and I have film grain on 0. You want your first and third person camera movement to both be on low. This stops the screen shaking for like airstrikes and stuff like that, so it allows you to have more stable aim. For the rest, I leave them on default. These are my audio settings. The audio in this game isn't great, but these are the settings that I run, and I feel like this gives you kind of the best audio that you can kind of get. This is what works best for me as of this moment. I use soundbar, obviously. This is my primary headset, my Astros. I have it on Windows default and not stereo. Master volume on 80. Gameplay music all the way down. Dialogue very, very low at 10. Effects volume, this is all of the in-game effects such as gunshots, footsteps. I have that on 100. Voice chat volume, obviously this is people speaking, so I have that very low, 10. Cinematic music volume and war tracks, I have them both on 0. And for the rest of the audio settings, they're very much personal. You just have to go through and change them to what you want them to be. This is what I have if you want to use the same as mine. And that is all my controller, graphic and audio settings. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one. See you.
No, I got bad like Backstreet. Born a man if you ask me. Fuck on that bitch in the backseat. We ain't no castle, yeah, I'm king. Know me, hoe mad at me. Send a DM to trap me. New York bitch.